Hello, Women of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. Joining me today is Colleen Altif, Event Technology Manager for the Channel Company. I'm so excited to have you here, Colleen. Not every day that I get to interview people I get to work with every day.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you for asking me and giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're going to start off with those icebreakers. Where do you live and where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I live in Sarasota, Florida. I've been here for 2.5 years, but I grew up in Massachusetts. So I grew up in a small town called Tewksbury, Massachusetts, and it's about 20 miles north of Boston.
I still have to make it up there because that's one of the places on my bucket list that I have not had the opportunity to go to yet.
Yeah, just
not Florida, Mass. I've been to Florida plenty of times being in Georgia. So
yeah, right. Just don't go there in the winter.
yeah, right. All right, Colleen, what is a little known fact about you?
Yeah, so I think something that is probably not fully known about me is that I'm actually a twin. So I have a twin sister.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I have a twin sister. We actually look nothing alike. You wouldn't even know we were sisters or cousins. Like literally, we look nothing alike. Our personalities are so different. It's interesting though, because my whole life I was identified as the twin, right? Calling twin, your twin, Sasha. And so as an adult, it's been cool to be on a journey where I actually get to identify as somebody that's on my own and an individual and not always lumped with somebody else. So yeah.
How did I not know this? I'm going to be asking you more questions. Colleen, let's switch paths to more of your professional career path and how you reached the position that you're in today.
So I got a business management degree and I got a job right out of college working in finance. So I worked for an investment company in downtown Boston for 2 years. And I talked to brokers and shareholders about their accounts. And the trajectory for that job was to get your series 6 and 7 and become a stockbroker. And that's not what I wanted to do. No. So I had a friend who actually worked for Gartner and she was in the event operations side. And it was a division of Gartner called Vision Events. So I applied for the job and I got hired. I was hired as a vendor manager to manage all of our sponsors at all of our events. 6 months into the job, the Channel Company came in and acquired Gartner. It acquired Vision Events, which was a division of Gartner. And I've been with the Channel Company ever since. So I have been here for 16 years. It's been a pretty amazing journry. Yeah.
Well, lucky for us.
Aw, thank you. No, I love it. I love everybody I work with. So I actually was in event ops for 15 years. I just moved over to a new centralized department in the technology space recently, but I was a vendor manager for 6 years. And then I became an event planner and I became the event planner for the Women of the Channel brand. So I actually was the event planner for the first Women of the Channel event in New York City, 50 women in a room, not even a full day, to growing and watching this brand evolve into what it is today, which is, an event on the West Coast, event on the East Coast. We launched the event in the UK. We launched an event in Singapore. And now we're on this amazing community of 5,000 members. So it's been really cool to watch all of this happen and to be a part of it and from the very beginning. So yeah, so then
I'm learning all kinds of things about you today.
Yeah, so I loved it. I loved being a part of Women of the Channel for so long. It was really a neat experience. So I always at the same time though, right, as a vendor manager and as an event planner, I always was involved in the event technology platform. So I straddled two roles. I wore a lot of hats. So I started helping to manage our event registration system, kind of getting involved in the event apps. I happened to sit next to the CIO at the time for the Channel Company, as well as our development team. So I worked with them a lot and I would ask a lot of questions because I wanted to be a power user and I wanted to be empowered to be able to use these platforms and be able to teach other people how to use these platforms. So that is kind of how I have evolved and stepped away now from the event operations side and more into the technology space.
Ah, I love it. I love it. I'm so glad that we hit this question. I feel like I've just learned a ton about you in just that few minutes. What are some experiences or transformational moments that you've had in your life?
Yeah. So I think I have two transformational moments. So I have one that's personal, and then I have one that's professional. So my personal transformational moment is that, as becoming a first time mom, right?
Mm.
That's just transformational itself. I have one daughter. Her name is Kennedy, and she's 9. However, my journey is a little bit different, and her journey is a little bit different. And I don't really talk about it very often because I feel like it doesn't define me and it doesn't define her. But she was born with a unilateral cleft lip. So she has had 6 surgeries, and
Wow.
yeah, she has to have another surgery. So it was, hard to navigate, right? Being a first time mom and having a baby that was also born 6 weeks early and spent 4 weeks in a NICU and then had 2 surgeries before she was 1, and, just different things that you need to
Hmm.
face. Feedings were different and than regular babies. But I think the most transformational part of this journey with her has been the human spirit and kindness. People are so kind. And it's you worry, right, as a mom about
Yeah.
bullying and how is she going to be perceived, because she does look a little bit different than other kids. And I think she's just been we've been really blessed, and she's really been really lucky that she just has amazing friends, and that everyone that she's ever encountered or we've encountered has just been so kind. And they say kids can be so cruel, but kids can actually be really, really, really kind too. So I just love, watching her grow, and she's so brave and she's so strong, and she handles every challenge with grace, and it has made me more fearless and more brave to watch her. And it's just been a really cool experience.
That is so amazing. I love that you shared it, and I love what you both are teaching one another and what people around you are showing that
Yeah.
they can, like their full potential of how amazing people can really be. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I think it's hard too, right? Because you hear so much. This world's so divided right now, and you hear
Hmm.
hear all the negative side of people, but there's so much good in the world and so much positivity and kindness. So, yeah.
I love it. All right, your professional
Yeah, so
moment?
my professional transformation would be that in 2019, I was asked to pick a lane. And I had to step away. I had the option to step away from being the event planner on the Women in the Channel events and really dive into the event technology side of the business. So I cried. It was a big decision to make, but I really realized that event technology was something that I was really good at, and I actually
Hmm.
liked it better than being event planner and being an event operations. So I then, kind of just moved over and taught myself. And I now manage all of our event apps, our website. I manage our event registration platform, our events portal. So all of the things that our attendees see on site from a technology perspective or before, or the planning process, that is me behind the scenes making that all happen, as well as I help to now manage the Hive platform, which is what the Women in the Channel community is built on. So, yeah.
I was going to say, if you didn't include that, I was going to say, like, things that are working in the back end, and you are fiercely one that fights for things that we should expect out of our platform. And I love that about you.
Absolutely. I feel like, one of my skill sets is that I hold our partners accountable, right? So we have I want to have a good working relationship with them. But we'll uphold our end of the bargain, but they also have to upload their end of the bargain as well and provide a good
Yeah.
service. Yeah.
Couldn't have said that better myself.
Yeah.
All right, Colleen, how do you define successful leadership?
So I think successful leadership first starts with empathy. I think you need to understand where your coworker or somebody that works underneath you is coming from a personal level as well as a professional level, and feeling where they are at. I think there needs to be trust, and need to trust in you to share those challenges so that you're able to support them in the best possible way and put them in the right role. I think another thing is being approachable. So I think that is huge, that somebody should be able to come to you and tell them their challenges or what they're facing, and feel like they feel safe in that space to be able to tell you and approach you on that. I think level-headedness is huge, especially in events. So it's chaotic.
True.
We are always running against a deadline. The event comes and you have to be ready for it because it's not stopping. This train is just moving. So I think trying to just kind of be that calmness during all of that chaos. And they always say that, in the event side of the business, we have to look like swans on the surface, but underneath we're kicking really hard. And that is so true.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it definitely takes a unique person to be in events. So yeah, I think those three qualities are huge. I mean, just being a good person, just being kind, being human. Everyone makes mistakes, and just we all
definitely.
Yeah, and just we figure out a workaround and just keep rolling with it, right? So.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, I think we have time for one more. So I'm going to ask, who are some individuals that inspired you on your journey?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough that during the time that I've been working at the channel company and working on the Women of the Channel brand, I actually worked under and alongside Lisa McKenzie. So she was actually our co-owner of the channel company. She was also senior vice president of events. And I worked with her for 10 years. And she taught me all the things I just talked about as a leader, right? Being empathetic and being approachable and being level-headed. And she was all of those things. But I think the most important life lesson that I learned from her was how to be a mom and be a good partner while also having a career. And the thing that she always talked about and told us was that it was always about quality, not quantity, and being present. So when you're with your family, you're present. The phone is down, computer is shut, and you spend time with them. And then when you're at work or you're on the road, that's the time that you spend and focus on your career. I think it's harder now just in this post-COVID world, right? Where everybody is working from home more. And there are a lot of blurred lines between, working and having your family at home with you. And I struggle with that. And I always think about that every day, and really have to set boundaries for myself, for my family. And, there's a time and a place, and to shut it down and just be with them. And she also always said family was number one. So job came second, but family was always number one. So I think that is amazing as a leader to teach all of the people underneath you.
That is such great advice. And I honestly couldn't agree more. Definitely will resonate with people. And I won't lie, I wish that became more of a common conversation as I was growing in my career. But happy to say that, it just, if you're not doing it or you're not doing it as good as you would like, there's time to practice. Like, that's what learning and making mistakes and, moving on is all about, right? Part of that human behavior.
Absolutely. And I feel like we're always growing and always evolving and always, and it's sometimes you kind of get caught up in the rat race of life and you have to stop and kind of reset. So I think that's super important.
I love it. All right. Well, Colleen, thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing a little of your journey with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Women of the Channel Leadership Network, this is your Woman of the Week. Feel free to comment, continue the conversation, and happy Wednesday.